That is a lot of darts. I have this face down at the moment because it's got my, packaging information, and we don't want fans that, come to my house and go, yay, I just want to hug you and squeeze you until your eyes pop out of your head. Nah, just kidding. I'm not don't have that great of fans. But at anywho, privacy. So that definitely looks like 1,000 ACC darts. I don't get to keep 1,000. I'm actually have several hundred that I'm using in commissions. But, whoa, look at that. I'll have the contact info of who to buy from and everything. But you'll never guess how much I paid for this big, huge mess of darts. Never guess. Did I pay $200 for 1,000 darts? No. Did I pay $100 for 1,000 darts? Nope. Go ahead, guess. Take a wild-ass guess. I paid, with shipping, $65 for 1,000 Chinese darts. $65. Pretty cool. These are ACC prototypes. They're pretty nice. And I know I'm tempting with this packaging. The guys are like, open the package already, Chris! But you know what? Temptation is the game, I guess you could say. 1,000 darts. And with Nerf just coming out with the new AccuStrike darts, which I don't see how that can't rob velocity, but we'll talk about that later. It's some real bang for the buck. I mean, they really have some competition here, and considering that a lot of the toy gun industry is based largely on making money on the refillable darts, a little on the blaster, but not much. It's really changed things, and you can see this is one reason why I think like the Chaos and the Atlas and the Tri-Strike. This is why I think that they're so high in cost now, and they're throwing in all these accessories, is because they're trying to make up for the fact that they're not selling as many darts as they used to. So let's open this beast up. It's like a big turkey on like Thanksgiving, ain't it? Or a big Christmas present, like the biggest Christmas present in the world. Yes. Yes, and I have to count all these, but I'm not going to do that in front of you. I'm just going to open this up. Yes, maybe I should not be using a kitchen knife, but I'm pretty good about like avoiding other things inside. Whoa. Look at that. Wow. Holy sh! Whoa! It's like Christmas in October. Isn't it great? Wow, 100 freaking packets of darts. That is 1,000 darts. You guys see that, right? 1,000. Now, a couple of issues. Number one, they do not come in like hard packaging. This means, of course, you can have some crushed darts and this and that. But considering that I would say 70% of mine get cut down to Stefan length, 36 millimeter, which means the ends of these don't really matter. And the other side, of course, is going to have a tip on it, so that side's not going to get crushed. It doesn't, I just take the cleaner darts, use those for full-length blasters, and I use the ones that are not so, let's see, let's find a good one. Not so good condition, and I just cut them down to Stefan's. Well, cut down darts, as Jim Tepper would tell me. Really big Nerf Haven legend, known as Draconis. Good guy. He taught me a lesson of, okay, these aren't Stefan's, these are cut down darts. Get your terminology right. Well, check it out, man. Yeah. So that's issue number one, is that, okay, you're going to have some that are crushed. If you're a guy who runs nothing but full lengths, and some people are obsessed about running nothing but full lengths, as much as I am cut down darts, there's an issue. Number two, these heads, well, let's just break one out and show you. These heads are hard. Oh, shit. This is like box. Don't know why. But let's try another one, shall we? That's great. These are definitely good item busters. They're real hard. I would say they're a little harder. Oh, wow, but those are pretty. Look at that clear. Oh, that looks so cool. If only they could make that a little bit of a softer durometer, like out of polyurethane, that would be awesome. But of course, what the hell's going to bond the polyurethane and foam? I don't know. But they're hard, very hard. I'm sure if you took one of these at like 250 feet per second, you'd have a welt for like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure. But the heads are really nice. I like this ridge around here, this rebated head right here. That's going to go really nice through brass. The printing, okay, I usually don't like printing all that much, but that doesn't look too obstructive for brass, and plus it's going to wear off anyway once you fire it a few times. They're nice. They're nice. So let's go upstairs and crony these, cut a few down, see how they do. That's more darts than you ever had! So I decided to cut a few of these down, to stuff in length, and throw them through a Prototype LT and see what kind of damage it can do. There it is, prototype dart. Cut down prototype dart. Let's see how much this blaster design cut down likes brass. It's not too bad. 264. It's not too bad. Compared to how fast can this blaster throw a green FNJ? Okay. So that loaded in the barrel. There we go. Really careful because that computer there. The same speed. Wow. So pretty much these are comparable to FNJs. Almost never expect, except that foam looks really nice. Let's see how fast these things fly and how well. Okay, so one thing I noticed is that the rim of the dart, like the head of it, is not exactly centered really all that well. I just got these and they could just be smashed together. Yeah, it does look like they're smashed together flat places just because they were in a package. But of course it's not going to make for the most even flight in the world. The other thing is, look at these little tabs here. See that? Because they were cut from some sort of tree where they injection molded a bunch of them at a time and then cut them. But the tabs still stick out. Well, okay, if you're going to run that through brass, you had better trim that out with an X-Acto knife or a very tiny pair of scissors. Otherwise, you are going to have issues. Yeah. You see it? Right there. Little tab. Little red tab. You see it, right? Yeah, you better take care of that. Definitely. Okay, so relative range test. Prototype LT with some ACC prototypes versus some hand-glued X-Darts. The X-Darts have the yellow foam. The prototype ones have that pumpkin spice foam that I guess people love so much. Okay. I am pointing at that bush. You see that bush at that end of that house over there? Yeah, I'm usually pointing at that. That's usually what I'm pointing at. The one on the other side of the 6th driveway. The prototype one first. I like that they don't bounce. I mean, they go like a foot or two and that's it. That's where the X-Darts will bounce in any which direction, actually. prototype. That one went so crazy. Shot 4. Let me shoot a little out here so you guys can see that it's a straight shot. All of this will come out in video. And that last one I did, it didn't quite come out, but it was showing the barrel. So let's see. 4 and shot 5. That's really good. I'm not going to. That's that upcoming band we're talking about. Okay, so I want to move this camera over here. So X starts. This is the X start shot. I'm going to move the camera over here because I want to see if you can get me pointing the blaster. Okay, so here's the 3 X starts. So same part of the barrel pointing at the same target from this far away. Farther, but it landed in the same line. Yeah, like, I mean, the line that was landing was literally like a foot and a half. Okay, so I had to cut that scene because of somebody showed up over there and I didn't want to hit him. Okay, so for safety, there's Mr. doesn't care about my darts. Okay, so as you see, the ACCs are all over the place, and not just because that guy ran over one of them, but look at him. Look at him. So these ones all landed like one landed here, one landed here, one landed here. And the X starts, they basically, because they're hand glued, they relatively landed in the same place. But the ACCs, they're all over the freaking place. Hey man, how you doing? Good, good. They literally landed every freaking where. Look at this. Sure, I had one that landed like really far away, but they're scattered. They're everywhere. That's where the X starts landed relatively in the same place. Relatively, I'm talking a few feet, but I'm definitely not talking a large distance. See what I'm saying? Hey there. So, that concludes the end of the video right there. I tried to do a test where I shot it into the tree with the light, but this foam isn't all that reflective against light. Not as well as the white foam, not the green foam, especially the white glow-in-the-dark foam that the FNJs and FNJs that I use are. So I really couldn't really show you how squirrely these were. Well, let's put it this way. Let's talk about darts here. In the scheme of darts, you have your homemades. They don't shoot very far, but they are very inexpensive and they're easy to make. Darts, felt pads, foam, a weight behind them, maybe, you know. Then you have your elite darts. And your elite darts are expensive, but the big motivation for me was not expense, because to me, an X dart is just as expensive, if not more expensive, than an elite dart. That's not the big motivation. The big motivation is that an elite dart is not stable. It's hollow in the front. It has the hole in front of it. You saw yesterday when I went from Mega to Air Max XL slugs and how much more just accurate they are. I mean, I can hit that angel I mean, from halfway across the yard, that's pretty good. But what I'm seeing is a trend where we have these eraser head ACCs, because the other darts are ACCs. They're like artifact darts, but they came first. They are kind of like this non-marking rubber in the front, and then the black foam. Of course, impossible to find outside, but a lot of people like them. I know one of the players I play with in one of my Nick leagues really likes them, plays with them in his 3B. Really badass player too. I mean, he's one of the veterans of Nerf. We have actually, I can say that just about for anybody in Scoon. Almost anybody in Scoon is pretty badass. They're just pretty all-around good players, and they're led by a mentality of fun. Well, in the sake of fun, this is fun because these are only 6.5 cents a dart. Shit. You're not afraid of losing them, and you're not going to shoot up all your expensive, version 2X darts just taking pot shots and stuff. This cheaper Chinese darts kind of give you that freedom. You can buy like 1,000 of these, 2,000 of these, 5,000 of these, and you can just, have fun, which is what Nerf is about. But at any rate, we have that, and then we have the harder ones like this and the FEJs, which are, a lot of people don't like them at higher velocities. Me personally, I don't care if I get hit by them, but people that aren't getting them are just like, God, these things are like being hit by rocks. So the artifact darts are too flimsy. The ACC darts, in my opinion, too flimsy, and the FNJs are too hard. So at what point do we come up with an in-between? We had an in-between. Those were the Explorer version 2 X darts. And we had the Pack Ds, which Pack D is a whole thing. It's a whole story, But basically, they're version 1 X darts that were made a little longer to be heavier, and they were copied. Big fight between Explorer and Pack D has always been about the Pack D mags and the Pack D dart heads. I personally like the X darts better. I even have some version 1s. I think they're pretty good. They don't go as far as the version 2s. And the version 3s, they're too wide around the rim, in my opinion, for me. Some people love them to death, and especially a lot of long shot players love them to death. I personally like a good version 2. It's just a good dart. If I could just make those like 0.2 grams heavier, I'd be in heaven. They're just great darts. I love Alpha Domes, especially in the BDSM, but I nailed like Roboman in the hand with it, and I thought I killed Bradley. I really thought, a smart kid too, probably one of the smartest kids in Nerf I've ever met is Roboman. He makes the sleds, and he makes the long shot parts, and he makes the 2K tags, and he plays with 2Ks religiously, and he's just an all-around good player, all-around great guy. Really, really cool. But no one's really come up with an answer, a commercially available answer, to the version 2 X darts. And I think that this reflects that. Overall, the darts, I give them about an 8.5 out of 10. I think they're good for practice. They're good for shooting. They're not good if you're trying to win like an accuracy competition. The ones that I promised to make for people, I'm gonna take out the heads. I'm gonna cut down the back, trim them, and I'm gonna glue them with silicone glue. I wanted to do that anyway because it removes any possibility of a gap between the head and the foam. Do I think they're better than the normal accurate darts? Yes, but not better than the typical FEJs, with the exception of the foam. The Pumpkin Spice foam is quite phenomenally nice, stiff foam. It shoots right on par with an FNJ. It's beautiful. These things are really good object busters. And I'm going to do more videos on shooting through clip heads, and I'm going to do a lot more videos on just paint tests and everything else, functionality of the ACC Prototype darts, and many others. But what I think the industry needs, especially with the AccuStrike darts coming out, which are going to be flathead, and actually have spiral grooves that are in a low pressure area of the dart behind a flathead. I see the same thing happening with that I see happening with the rifle ammo, where it will shoot 60 feet nice and then all of a sudden drop out. And it doesn't matter how fast you throw a rifle ball, it just has so much wind resistance, especially with that golf ball pattern on them, that it's just crazy. What I would really like to see is a rifle ball without the pattern. Does that actually go farther? If we had an exact composition of that foam, and it was completely smoothly outside, that would be phenomenally great. But I don't know anybody who does that. But anyway, this is Chris Cartaya. I'm just enjoying the end of the day, finishing this video. Keep tuned, keep posted. I don't just test blasters. I don't just test modded blasters. I test also darts and dart smithing and modding and oh yeah, it's just gonna be a brave new world, no prayers. So anyway, I'll see you later. Peace out.